I could almost feel those lips against my skin. Her kisses were benedictions, promises from my angel that made my life worth living. With a determined exhalation, I picked up the phone and speed-dialed Raul Huerta. Despite the earliness of the hour, he answered swiftly and alertly. "Mrs. Cross and Carrie Taylor are heading to San Diego today," I said, my hand curling into a fist at the thought. I didn't have to say more. "Got it. I want a recent photo of Ann Lucas and a detailed rundown of where she was last night on my desk by noon." "At the latest," he affirmed. I hung up and stared at Ava's captivatingly beautiful face. I'd caught her in a happy, unguarded moment, a state of being I was determined to keep her in for the rest of her life. But last night she'd been distressed by a possible run-in with a woman I'd once used. It had been a while since I'd crossed paths with Anne, but if she was responsible for aggravating my wife, she'd be seeing me again. Soon. Opening my inbox, I started sifting through my emails, drafting quick answers when required, and working my way toward the subject line that had caught my eye the moment my email opened. I felt Ava before I saw her. I lifted my head and my keystrokes slowed. A sudden rush of desire soothed the agitation I felt whenever I wasn't with her. I leaned back to better appreciate the view. "You're up early, Angel." Ava stood in the doorway with her keys in hand, her blonde hair a sexy tangle around her shoulders, her cheeks and lips flushed from sleep, her curvy body clad in a tank top and shorts. She was braless, her lush tits swelling softly beneath the ribbed cotton. Petite and built to take a man to his knees, she often pointed out how different she was from the women I'd been photographed with before her. "I woke up missing you," she replied, with the throaty voice that never failed to make me hard. "How long have you been up?" "Not long." I pushed the keyboard drawer in to make room for her on my desk. She padded over on bare feet, effortlessly seducing me. The moment I first saw her, I'd known she would wreck me. The promise was there in her eyes and the way she moved. Everywhere she went, men stared at her, coveted her, just like I did. I caught her by the waist when she came close enough, choosing to pull her onto my lap instead. Bending my head, I caught her nipple in my mouth, drawing on her with long, deep sucks. I heard her gasp, felt her body jolt at the sensation, and smiled inwardly. I could do whatever I wanted to her. She'd given me that right. It was the greatest gift I had ever been given. "Gideon." Her hands went to my hair, sifting through it. I felt infinitely better already. Lifting my head, I kissed her, tasting the cinnamon of her toothpaste and the underlying flavor that was uniquely her. She touched my face, her gaze searching. "Did you have another nightmare?" I exhaled in a rush. She'd always been able to see right through me. I wasn't sure I would ever get used to it. I stroked the pad of my thumb over the damp cotton clinging to her nipple. "I'd rather talk about the wet dreams you're inspiring right now." "What was it about?" My lips thinned at her persistence. "I don't remember." "Gideon." "Drop it, Angel." Ava stiffened. "I just want to help you." "You know how to do that." She snorted. "Sex fiend." I cuddled her closer. I couldn't find the words to tell her how she felt in my arms, so I nuzzled her neck, breathing in the well-loved scent of her skin. "Ace." Something in the tone of her voice set me on edge.